These things are absolutely awesome. This was a king size 6-inch thick memory foam mattress. This was a 4-inch thick topper, memory foam topper that we put on this mattress. And when we replaced the mattress, we didn't really have a place for it, and I wanted to try to consolidate it. And yeah, this thing was huge. I mean, to give you an idea, it would take up this whole wall if I had it leaning up against it. And now I'm going to say it's roughly little less than 6 feet tall. Takes up less than a foot this way and maybe a foot and a half that way. And that right there was huge and very awkward. And after getting them all packaged into these vacuum sealed bags and the air sucked out, boy, it makes storing these things a lot easier. Just remember, they're not going to weigh much less because the air that you vacuum out doesn't weigh very much. And what they leave you with is the original mass, essentially, of what it's like completely expanded out. So super, super heavy. Love these things. If you ever need to, figure a way of vacuuming and compressing an old mattress that you have, or really anything, you should consider bags like these. I got these off of Amazon. I forgot how much I paid, but I'll throw a link in the description if this is something you might need. If you're going to swap the mattress in your RV out and you want to hold on to the mattress that came in it, maybe for some other reason, maybe you want to use it as like a futon for kids or something like that, but you want to store it, again, vacuum sealed bags definitely work real well. And I don't think it even matters if you have coil springs inside, because most of the new mattresses you get now that have coil springs actually come in a vacuum sealed bag. So very, very cool. A little cumbersome to try to get the mattress inside. Actually, the mattress was a lot easier to get inside of the bag because we just stood it up and kind of pulled it on top. This one right here was a little more difficult because it's so floppy, and it was just kind of difficult. Plus, one side of it has a rubber material on it, a gripping material, which made it kind of difficult. We put it on the soft side to get it in that bag. But yep, all done. Definitely comes in handy to have these bags. Okay, so when you have a 65-inch old TV, and when I say old, we replaced this TV with another TV about a year ago, but when you have a 65-inch old LG TV laying around that needs to be mounted in a shop, and you have a bracket that you've put up on the wall that's about 10 feet off of the ground, you're probably thinking of an interesting way that you could hoist a TV that weighs about 90 pounds off the ground to get it on its mounting bracket. And we certainly have an interesting way of doing that. When you got a mini excavator, aka mobile crane, it's definitely a useful tool when you want to lift heavy things up high. All right. Well, that was easy, at least easy enough. It took some effort off of our back, which is really nice. And if there's ever been a reason to justify buying a $90,000 mini excavator, it's to have it around in case you need to raise a TV that's probably worth about $200 now. So if you've ever considered putting in a waterfall with a pond that's under trees and surrounded by sand, I wouldn't recommend it unless you have a really, really good way of ensuring that debris and sand doesn't build up inside of the drain at the bottom. You get stuck in the tube here. You know, when we bought this property, this was a mess. It was in really, really bad shape. They had a new pond. It was a sump pump that they had put in behind the back of this waterfall, which goes down into a basin that this drain goes into. And this thing was super murky. It looked haunted. We cleaned it up. We got it working. It actually, turned right on whenever we started it up. But boy, this is like a constant chore maintaining this thing, because about every 4th or 5th day I come out and the fountain is just trickling. Hardly anything's coming out. I already have the pump itself wrapped in one of those mesh bags to prevent the debris from getting into it. The drain out on the bottom has a big plastic cap, kind of like what you see on the bottom of swimming pools perhaps, but it's about 10 inches in diameter and it's perforated. But then we even put some mesh metal on top of it because it was clogging up so much, and that's helped tremendously. So I understand that some people might say, well, you're drawing all the leaves and everything into it and it's gonna prevent it. Well, the clogging takes place in the pipe down here, and I honestly don't know how that pipe continuously gets clogged the way it does, but I have to get in there. I have to drain it down so I can actually get in here because it's 2.5 feet deep. Take the cap off, feed. I actually bring a sump pump out myself, the one that I used to drain this down. I feed the hose all the way to the end here, blow it all out. Then I have to get a shop vac on the back here, vacuum all the debris out about 10 times, and dump it all out. And somehow leaves still manage their way in there. I don't know how it happens. The mesh netting on the little drain here, it's like 1/8-inch holes. So I don't know how leaves are getting in there unless they've just been stuck in this pipe forever, and the process of auging it out is pushing them through. But yeah, this thing is a total nightmare to maintain. But we got it going. One interesting trick, and I'll show you here back behind this. One interesting trick back here, if I want to limit how much water flow goes out, because the pump itself has no limiter on it. I can't turn it down. I can't reduce the actual suction. But if I close off that valve slightly, it limits the amount of water it can pump up, and that helps tremendously. So it slows the flow down. If I have it going too fast, it drains all the water out of the basin, and it can't cycle any water through it. So yeah, turning down the flow going to the actual fountain helps tremendously to keep this thing going. But the key here is pretty much treating it like a swimming pool and just maintaining it. I got a little chlorine floater in here, and it's running pretty good right now. So chalk that up to a win. But yeah, this thing's been a nightmare. And the pond fountain that I have right there, that thing shoots up like 12 feet in the air, and it's actually easier to maintain than this is. But just filling it back up because I had to drop it down about 6 inches so I could actually get in there and work on it. And then of course we use our blue dye, which is just a pond dye. It's apparently very safe for everything, so if we ever wanted to put fish in here, the chlorine would kill the fish, but the blue dye wouldn't. Anyways, on to the next project. Okay, back on gopher hunting duty. So I have this one gopher. You can see these are the new mounds he's just made in the last day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. They go back here. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and then it branches off that way. So if you have a smaller front yard, you can imagine what one gopher could do to it. They just destroy your yard. And these mounds are predominantly sand. So whenever they dry up, they turn into these really bright sand marks on your yard, and they take forever to heal. So we're going to continue to try to catch this one gopher who has eluded me for almost 2 months now. I just haven't been able to catch him. I've put down traps, I've smoked him out, all this stuff, and he just doesn't come out. So I guess I've smoked him, but he hasn't come out. And yeah, we're going to try to probe around here because this is a very, very predominant little rail that he's made through here, tunnel that he's made through here. So I should be able to get some good traps underneath him. So let's see what we can do. Got my gopher hunting kit right here. I have all sorts of cool things, including these nifty gopher gassers, which I've tried. Haven't worked on him yet. As well as my gopher hawk, which I'm going to use today. I'm going to set down several traps to see if I can get him. First I'm going to do is start probing around, see if we can find his run. I have a feeling it's going through here, but not 100. Well, there we are right there. That was quick. Yep, so I definitely have one of the runs right here, or this could be the tunnel going up. Not 100% sure. You definitely want to kind of keep probing around to see if you can find where his hole is. Let's move over here real quick, see if I can find where he's ending. My theory is he's probably going to be on this side, just because you can see kind of a moon shape here, or a half circle, and that's typically where you'll see them. A lot of roots coming through here from all the live oaks. Might be on this side. It definitely feels like something right there. Yeah, it's not too deep. May not be his though. Okay. This could be his run right here. It's really shallow if it is. There it is, right there. Yep. It's right under where the mole mound is. So we'll put a trap there for sure. All right, let's get some traps set. All right. I think we just got to it. Okay, we found it, so let's go ahead and drop a trap in there. Okay, so I know whenever you see someone that does a lot of YouTube videos, you just assume that they got their camera ready to go and they're going to start filming the instant stuff starts happening. That's not always the case. I kind of got carried away setting gopher traps. I even dropped a couple gas bombs down there, or gopher, whatever they're little smoke bombs. They're like firecrackers, but they just put out a bunch of smoke. You drop it down the tunnel, and presumably it chokes them out, and they die in the ground. That said, yeah, I got a little carried away. I already flattened all the mounds down. I set 2 traps. I put one gasser in the middle of these 2 to kind of scare them that way or this way. I put another one back here. And the way you know that you're in the right tunnel is because once the smoke starts coming out, they run in the tunnel to get away from it, and the smoke gets pulled into the tunnel. So you simply see the smoke constantly being pulled into the tunnel as they move. And that did happen on both of them. So hopefully I got this guy. He's done a great job at destroying this whole section of yard right here, as well as starting to move his way over here. And like I said, hopefully we got him this time. Anyways, if I get him, I'll give you guys an update. These gopher hawks work really well. I've caught over 100 gophers with them. Not a sponsored item. This is just something I picked up in my constant pursuit to eradicate the gophers from my yard, one gopher at a time. And they work really well, but for some reason, we got us an educated gopher, and he's been avoiding these things like crazy, and I haven't been able to catch him yet. So we've tried just about everything. Next step is if I see him actually doing it, maybe I'll try to take a headshot on him. Anyways, guys, sure hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up so you can come back and see what happens to this gopher. Talk to you again real soon.